All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the What the Football channel. This is the BH and Scrubber Show. We're going to be covering the Washington football team. That's who we cheer for. We support our guys. We think we got a good team. So we're going to cover a little bit what happened against Green Bay and look forward to next week. And I'm going to cover it. My name is Scrubber, and I got my boy with me here.
Yeah, man, BH here. We got a lot to talk about that Green Bay game. Offense, defense, special teams,
Yeah.
coaching. So, hey, but just want to say a quick segue here. Rocking my Scrubber t-shirt. Yeah.
Look at that thing.
From my Patreon there for supporting Scrubber. You know, he's doing a lot of good kite stuff, hiking stuff, camping stuff, all over, a lot of it in the Seattle area, which is beautiful. There's a ton of stuff out there from inland to the beaches. So check out Scrubber, man. He's got some good stuff going on.
Thanks so much, BH. Yeah,
no problem, man.
Shirt. Yeah,
Thank you.
My other channel. Check it out.
I like it.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. So, well, we're going to take a look at the boys here. What happened last week? I'm very happy about what happened last week. We all shouldn't be too down on the boys. We're not ready to fire everybody. A couple people are close. They got a show. We've seen coaches willing to do it. We saw, Mr. Hopkins had to hit the road, and we got another guy. So that Landon Collins needed to move from where he was, and they put him in a different position. So we see things moving forward. So I thought it was a good game, just as an overall. Of course, it's the minor mistakes that we all saw them. So we're going to talk about that stuff too. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was. We wanted the win really bad. And we always look at the process too. We want to see how guys are growing. And that was one thing about this game was the process was there. We finally saw our defense, right? That D-line. Making Aaron Rodgers uncomfortable. They stuffed the hell out of their run.
They did.
They really they got that great two-pronged attack, a good offensive line, and we ate them up on that. So that was really positive. And I just saw it on both sides of the ball. Processes were looking pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I think we can agree the mistakes just caught us. And we were talking about how sometimes there's a turnover, a bad penalty, and at different points in the game, it can be catastrophic. Sometimes it's when those things happen. And that really felt it in this game, man.
Yeah.
There were just times where a ball in the end zone, a throw was made and dropped in the end zone, a bad holding, a fumble. I mean, Charles Leno's done such a great job, but he did let that backside go, and then he got his hands. So, it's just, man, every single time. But, really, I guess the biggest thing I can say is we did see the defense start to resemble what we saw last year.
Giving us a chance to win.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead. Let's start off with the offense. There were struggles. I still think they're reeling a bit from the players that they don't have. You don't want to make excuses, but we've said before going into this season that we knew that the offense would have to work and grow. They weren't going to be stellar, but the defense would keep us in games. That was the whole theory going in. That's what we felt. And just unfortunately, man, it's just been hit after hit after hit, and they're doing a good job. I mean, come on, they were hanging in there. Except, 24-10. A couple of things go a few different ways. Terry McLaurin doesn't drop that pass. Taylor Heineke doesn't hit his knee and do that slide a half yard. I mean, there's 14 points right there. So it was just, and I know a lot of people are kind of hard on Heineke right now, but it's something we've talked about. He does have to step up, but in this world of sports or just about anything really, people have to learn, and that's the spot we're in. We're having a guy trying to learn and grow while we as fans are screaming for a win, and we don't have time for that. But to expect him to come in and just be, it's nice. It happens sometimes, sure, but he has had some struggles, but I mean, I don't think he was awful. He ran for 95 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did some good things. It's just,
I think the 95 yards running though is I mean it's cool that he gets 95 yards, but quarterback shouldn't be running for 95 yards.
yep,
He shouldn't be in the position to do that. Now he did take off on a couple good ones, and when he ran, at least this time, he was looking good at what he was doing, except right down there at the touchdown. So
yeah,
he blew that one, but all his other
yeah,
runs looked good. So and as far as like Heineke, as far as the game plan is concerned, we wanted, I'm going to work this in, but we wanted, Fitzmagic was supposed to run the show. So he's been out for a while. And of course, Heineke is a good stopgap guy. If he's got to be in there for 2, 3, 4 games, that's fine. You know what I mean? Knowing that the other guy's going to come back. But I just saw an article and they're telling me that Fitzpatrick is still on crutches, here into the 6th week or so. And so that throws a little bit of a curveball as to where to go from there. So if Heineke's got to take it from here on out, that makes it tough. I don't know if he was going to be like our main guy or somebody who could take it from the first game all the way to the end of the season. I wasn't sure if he was that guy. And so he does do good out there. You can tell he wants to do good. So I support him in that way, but he does need to step up. I felt like his passing needs work. Some of them, he threw a couple over the middle where he was going to get J.D. McKissick killed. They were too high. And another one, a couple of McLaurin over the middle. They're a little high for that particular, you don't want to be throwing it high over the middle. The guy's going to get killed. McKissick got caught pretty good that one time. So, those low and aways, he did get some good passes off, but he's like kind of like a Russell Wilson. You kind of got to wait till he sees somebody open instead of being able to. I know he's young. He's got to get this going, though. You got to throw the ball before you know the guy is open. I'm sorry. That's a tough thing to do, man. But you see Aaron Rodgers did that touchdown to Lazard in the 4th quarter there. He had already thrown the ball, and Lazard's still looking that way, but Lazard knows to turn around, and he did. While the ball's in the air, he had no idea he'd thrown the ball or anything. He just turns around and boom, there it is. So those kinds of plays need to be practiced or done better. The guy's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and turn around. You throw the ball before he turns around and know he's going to be there. You just you have to do those things. So a little low and away on the passing would be nice. Time throws, if you can tighten that up a little bit. Couple drop passes kind of here and there.
Yeah, drops kind of hurt him a little bit, but that happens. Everyone gets those.
It did.
He did.
So he did good in the pocket.
Yeah, he did. He did he did do good in the pocket. And I think he's just going to have to keep working, because I don't know that they're going to go to Kyle Allen, and maybe they got to work a little bit more after we got this game coming up. And then we have the bye week, right?
Yeah.
So maybe and maybe coming, but maybe he has more time to kind of stop and relax, because I'm sure his head's spinning right now. You get a couple offensive linemen back. Maybe you get your tight end back. Maybe Sims comes back on the, out there on, maybe he gets, that kind of an infusion of that talent coming back, with a rest and look. And they know who they have. And I'm sure they're trying to tailor plays and stuff towards him. They just have to.
What do you think about is going on with Fitzpatrick? If somebody's telling me in the 6th week he's still on crutches, he ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, I'm getting some rumors and reports, nothing I could substantiate.
Right.
That we're going, it's going to maybe 10 weeks. Because, he could have had an operation, but he wanted to rehab it. And I think because at his age, man, he just probably really wanted to come back bad. But also at his age, rehabbing an injury might take a little longer. Well, he's 37. It's going to take a little longer. So I think it's going to be just Taylor Heineke, unless he really blows up. Unless he really makes the coaches disappointed, like he's really not doing what he's supposed to do. At that point, or he just looks like he's overwhelmed. Then we could bring in Kyle Allen, because we don't want an implosion. But
if he's reached his zenith of what he can do, and he's
Yeah.
not learning more quick enough. When do you call up Kyle Allen? I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but you do it at the break. You
That's
know
what I'm
what I'm
thinking.
saying? If
Yeah.
you're waiting to see here what he does in Denver, which I'm willing to
Yep.
do again, coach is good about that. Give him another chance, and of course we should be able to roll into Denver and do something.
Yeah.
Let's
Hey, I
hope.
tell you what, he played a hell of a lot better than Jimmy Garoppolo. And
Yeah.
that clown's been around forever. So I mean,
I
it
agree.
was not. If you look at his QB rating, you look at his stat, it wasn't an awful
It
performance.
wasn't
It's
bad.
just that's how it is. The quarterback always gets the focus. So,
Yeah.
but to your point, he deserves a chance in Denver, and then they can reevaluate at the break.
I think the one interception he threw, I'm just going to cover that for now, and then we'll let it go. It just, to me, it just looked like that one he did the week before, just a little weak, going over the top. Should have been going for the back pylon instead of that front pylon. And so to me, he's made the same mistake 2 weeks in a row. So
Yeah,
he's
I'm
gonna
not sure
have
what
to
he's
fix
doing
that.
there because
Yeah,
you were right, man. It was exactly the same. I think that was the one that went to
Pretty much one.
Curtis Samuel, I think.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he was trying to throw, how they throw that back shoulder throw? In other words, the guy's going to the corner, but you kind of throw it short and right. And the
Yes,
receiver,
and he turns around and gets
yeah.
it. Yeah.
So I don't know if there's miscommunication, but he either has to arc that thing to that far corner,
that's
or
what you gotta do.
Or for once, he does his main problem. Sometimes we notice is he throws the ball high. Well, that's a place where you aim it high. So that your guy can get it, but it's not the same. Those were easy interceptions, and I know he regrets those throws. But they've got to clean up whatever's going on that pass, on that play. They've got to clean that up because that's a killer.
And that points to coaching probably too. So go ahead.
They got to work with him on that. Like get that straightened out, and maybe maybe he just doesn't have the arm straight going that way. He just might, turning and throwing that way. He just might not have the zip.
Yeah, he's a little on his back foot a little.
Yeah,
sometimes.
He just
I don't think he's getting that. You can see he's just kind of leaning back and throwing like that. You got to be up forward and throwing. You got to be more on the front instead of on the back and throwing from the. You get no power that way. You got to come forward on that front foot and throw. So they'll work on it. Whoever their passing coach is. Again, that goes down to who these quality control people. They're supposed to be on that, helping him out with that.
Yeah, there's the OC will be working with them. There's a quarterback coach. They'll be working with them. Yeah. Well, on a positive note, I think Terry McLaurin went out there and props to Taylor Heineke for just going at him and not giving up on him.
He did.
He just kept throwing. I mean, we saw that. I mean, man, in that Seattle game, I mean, DK Metcalf got his first catch and took it for 80 yards. And he didn't have another target, I think, till the third quarter. Yeah. I hate when that happens. I know there's good corners and there's shutdown corners, and you don't want to just tempt the guy. But I like the fact that they kept throwing to Terry, and just Terry showed, he is a top-notch guy. I know he had that drop in the end zone. I know he hates that. But still, that's good. I mean, you can build on that because just because we don't have our number one tight end and the right side or other wide outs, we're kind of scrambling a little bit with Diami Brown and some other people over there. It means you just, you just still got to go at Terry, even though they're doubling him. He's just that good, and he can get open. Even if he's doubled, he'll get open. So I thought he had a great game. That was really
great numbers.
Fun.
Yeah, he did good.
It was. And if he'd held on to that ball, it would have been an outstanding game because the numbers were good. So that was a positive. I like that. I think Ricky Seals-Jones continues to play good. I don't think he's ever going to be that top tier tight end, but he's come in and done well. He still has some improving to do, working on his blocking and stuff, but I think he's done a real good job out there. He had a couple good plays. I don't think he's a detriment. So he's done good. I like that.
Yeah, he did. He had a chance for one in the end zone. I looked at it again. I was railing on him about it before, but I think it was a tough one. It was just close. Was it pass interference? Just a little bit past his hands. The other guy got his hand on it a little bit. There's so much going on there. I had to concede it to him. It was a tough one to try and get. So
was that the one? Is that the one where Heineke threw the rocket?
Yeah, I thought it was a little hard, and it might not have been as hard as I thought it was, but it was still. I could tell he did have to throw it hard because the guy was right on him coming across.
Yeah.
And inconsistent. I think what happens with Heineke when he does these kinds of things is, if he's thrown a certain way and people are expecting it to come that way, and then you zip one at him, well, that kind of throws you because your expectation is he's throwing like this. Because a lot of times this stuff is just kind of over there, and then when you're coming across, you're kind of expecting this, and he zips it, and then you're,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
really,
know. So.
it was off, but at that velocity, I think it just, for Seals Jones, it was tough to him to make adjustment, and the defender was all over him, but
And
he's done a good.
Yeah.
I will say, I do think, and maybe it had a lot to do with their D line and the way they were playing. I thought our O line had some struggles, not a bad game, but I felt like it was more like they were playing like at a B+ level. And I mean, just watching the highlights in the film, I saw like a C+ game.
Yeah.
Not bad, but to me, it was like a bit of a step back. But overall, this year they've been playing so darn good. Even Schweitzer, the backups, they've been doing great. So let's. I just think I can't point to anything specific except for maybe the Charles Leno, who's been really good. He did get kind of beat around that backside, and that guy scraped the ball from Heineke, causing the fumble. But Charles Leno has really done a great job. So I mean that's just going to happen in a football game. Good players, get beat.
Yeah. Cosme is still out, and our other boy is still out.
Brandon Scherf's still out.
And him. So you're missing two guys there that are big
that could really who could really be back when we come back after the break. There's a good chance. The timeline for both of them looks good for the break. Yeah. So that's kind of what I was talking about, that infusion of some talent. Maybe Logan Thomas is feeling better. Who knows? Maybe your boy Curtis Samuel, Scrubber. I mean, come on now.
Miracles happen.
Miracles happen.
Miracles happen. I'm not going to hold to that, though. Me, how I feel about that. Him and Diami Brown both. I don't care. I'd rather have a mediocre, healthy person than the greatest person, week to week person. I can't stand that. So
yeah, and we are getting hurt because even Sims is out. It's made it very shaky on that right side because, like you said, even if we had an average guy out there, if Heineke got to play with them and practice with them for the last 3 weeks, I think you'd see, better results, right? Yeah, even if the guy's not a superstar, at least you'd have that. So
something threatening young guy, a guy who can run, where these defenses know that Curtis Samuels can't do his 100%, they know Diami Brown's hurting in the same way. You're not going to get 100 out of him either. So they know that those guys are already down 5 to 7%.
Yep.
That's not a threat. Even if you had a mediocre guy, at least if he could, last the whole game, take as many snaps as you want to throw at him. Well, that's the guy you want out there. If you got to pull Samuel out midway through the second quarter because he's already gotten his 12 snap count, well, that ain't good.
Right. Or if you can't practice much during the week, there's no way to build a rapport for Heineke, and that hurts him. So, and that goes back to what we said, man. We needed things to almost go perfect for this offense. And what happens? First game, you lose your quarterback. I tell you, man, if Kansas City had lost Mahomes, if Green Bay had lost, Aaron Rodgers in the second series of their first games, they'd be looking at completely different seasons, brother.
Kansas City has lost Mahomes.
Well, I was going to say, he looks pretty lost, bro. Woo, that guy. Yeah, that's a whole other story.
So everybody gets to take advantage of them but us. That's what I think hurts too. It's those little things that crush you as a fan,
I know. Well, hey, how about this, man? Speaking of that, now this week for Green Bay, no Alan Lazard for sure. And pretty much it's trending like there's going to be who's their star receiver? I forget.
Adams?
Could be out too with COVID. So I'm like, missed it by one game.
Yeah, I know.
Boy, would have helped us playing with, those two were killed us, So anyway, well, look, that's enough on the O. We know they got to do better. We're hoping up against Denver, they can kind of shake some of this off and get going. Oh yeah. One thing we didn't talk about. I forgot.
JD McKissick being a kick-ass player.
Yeah, JD out there doing it all. Yeah. I think the Washington football team brought in a couple running backs for tryouts. I think there may be a trend. Once again, I don't have any inside information. I think they may be trending to resting Gibson with that shin because it is a hairline fracture. It's very painful. They've got to be careful about messing that thing up. And you can see he's just not the same guy. So I'm just wondering, and this is just speculation. They had Kerryon Johnson, another guy. Oh, I forget his name. Used to be with Houston. Dante Foreman, I think his name. And
Oh yeah,
yeah, they're journeymen. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking maybe it means our guy
Jonathan
Williams,
Williams.
who we
Yes.
saw a lot.
Yes.
I'm just wondering if they're looking to make a move
Oh,
to
yeah.
rest him, bring Jonathan Williams up to play, and then just fill in that the practice squad with like Kerryon. Just bring him in, just put him on the practice squad because you always want to backfill as you promote. So I'm just saying, let's see what happens. They may be leaning towards resting him.
Well, we'll probably know more of that by the end of the week too.
I
and
think
why
so.
not? Just let them rest. Give them the 3-week benefit of the bye week as well. Bring somebody else in. I like Jonathan Williams. I think he can do good work for us.
And he's a banger.
Yeah, he likes to hit. He likes to throw at you. That's very good. And then keep developing Jarrett Patterson.
Jarrett Patterson.
Quit putting so much work on J.D. McKissick.
Yeah, that's true. Get him in there. So, and that's the other problem. We're playing from behind, so they always put him in. But but like you said, if you could get Williams and Jarrett Patterson running those early downs and mixing JD in and create a lead, or at least be even, where we don't have to brutalize JD all the time, that'd be the way to go. And like you said, 3 weeks for Gibson on a hairline fracture. I've been reading up on it, on a shin hairline fracture. That'll heal up really good. It's not one of those ones that takes forever. You know what I mean? He just needs to get off it and rehab it. So, but it was a struggle. There wasn't the consistency there. And it seems like they hand off to this guy, they give it to this guy, they give it to this guy, and no back. And I know a lot of that is circumstances. It's the way the game's being going. It's not going the way you want it to go. But I feel like there's no guy can assert themselves. And with Gibson, if he's hurt and he's playing in pain, they say it is painful, and players do.
Yeah, your shin is painful, dude. I
know.
they
play through pain, but it's got to affect you. You're going to take a hit. So anyway, let's see what happens there. I don't think it's going to be an issue going up against Denver. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
When we talk about them, but a little bit of a combination of the running game was kind of meh, although better than their running game. And the O-line could pick it up a little. There's room for lots of improvement. And like you said, 2% here, 2% here, 2% here, and it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, that pretty much does it for the offense. I think, let's see. Yeah, JD did real good. I'm always happy with what that guy does. There was some drives that we sustained, and then we just, that red zone, they got to pick up the pace there a little bit, not getting it in. I thought not going for the field goal there. We'll talk about that when we get to coaching. So
yeah.
But now, what do we want to talk about next? Defense?
Well, let's talk about happy stuff.
Our
defense
great.
Looked good, didn't they? They kind of look the D line. Well, for one thing, we stuffed the hell out of the run, and they got 2 really good running backs.
Yeah.
And I think they had 57 yards. I think we got a fumble out of their one back. I think
Dylan.
I think he fumbles. We got a fumble out of him.
Yeah.
I thought
Sweat broke that out, I believe.
Yeah. They pressured Rodgers. They did really good. A lot of it just 4-man rushing. That was awesome.
They had the blitzes at the right times.
Yeah,
Collins was in there. Curl was in there.
Yep.
So,
3 sacks. Yeah. And those are the guys they seem to be rotating. So that's really cool. 3 sacks was good. The downside is they were all in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And we got shut out in the second. So that's kind of a drag. They made some adjustments for us, and they worked. So, but, if we could have kept that up, maybe got 2 more sacks in that second half. I know it's a lot to ask for, but it would have been great to add a few more sacks in there. But still, the defense did good. The coverage, they did good. A couple blown coverages, but this is the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. They didn't put up 53 on us. We made them fight. Did pretty good. Some good, passes defended. Some, stuff. I thought one thing that was interesting, a couple things actually, was William Jackson didn't play.
No, he didn't.
And I'm not going to make. There's no correlation here because but it seems like all of a sudden two things happen. You get Collins playing up on the line more.
Yep.
William Jackson, we know he's kind of struggled going from the man, playing in the zone because he's always been a man guy. We've always kind of hoped that he could, and there's a lot of talk about it still, that he's still working and he's still adapting. But those two things coincided with some much better defensive play. And I don't know if that's a thing going forward. We like William Jackson.
Yeah.
He's got to learn. But who was it that came in for him? Was Danny Johnson, I think?
It was. He played almost every snap, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he played a ton, man. So speaking of playing a ton, Jamin Davis played 98% of the snaps.
It shows.
He was in there. I was looking, gosh, he was getting 42%, 53%, 48%. This was a huge leap for him. This was huge. He never had a game much over 55% of the snaps. Cole Holcomb
was in on a lot of plays too.
Tons,
him and Cole Holcomb, you could see 52 and 55 on every pile.
And Holcomb was in for 100% of the plays, which I think that's normal. He's pretty much there. So that's good. I think they finally committed. They said, look, let's just commit. We like this two linebacker set. What is it? The 4-2-5, 5 DBs. And then you get Cam Curl can come up. He can stuff the run. He can rush the quarterback, and they're doing the same with Collins. But I think they just committed to those two, and they really. I think it's going to get better. Yeah. Those two playing together, and especially Jamin Davis getting the reps. I think Collins had played at about 58% of the snap, so they're using him situationally. Up on the line, I think. I didn't really notice him back in the back end at all. So I think he must be situational. I saw him do a great job pressuring Rodgers. He didn't get the sack, I don't think, but I think he's the one that blew up the play because he just came right in. It was awesome.
Yeah. And he recovered the fumble that Sweat popped out, and I think Landon picked it up.
He did, and also he did a great backside play. They ran to their left. He was lined up, and he just burned so fast. He just took the guy down from behind. Boom. Yeah. And he was just on him like a rocket. Great stuff. So I think it's kind of good, and we don't want to ridicule Landon. We know his issues in coverage and stuff. But the thing is, Landon up on the line in a situational stuff and Landon not in the backfield, someone else back there is a plus, man.
Yeah. He still gets the cover, though. He still picks up people coming out the tight end or the guy coming out of the backfield. So he still gets enough of that.
He still covers. Yeah. And I think that's what helps him being up there, because covering up on the line and the tight end, as opposed to him having to be in space. And the same thing with his tackling. Yeah. Out tackling in space, it's hard. And he does seem to struggle because I think he's a downhill safety. He's just always coming in and attacking, and it's tough. And now he tackles better because, up on the line, the space is limited. You know where you're going. I've watched him. He's slicing through and getting guys. So, it's more contained. It gives him a chance to excel, because he's exposed in the open. But whatever, it's good. I like it. I like the fact that these young guys, Holcomb and Jamin, are up there playing all the time, getting Landon in there. So all the way around, I just thought the D did a good job against a really terrific offense. There were some letdowns. Even Jamin Davis and Holcomb, I was reading, they gave up about 6 passes on their coverage assignments. One was a touchdown. I think that was a Tanyan touchdown. But that's not horrible. It has to be improved, but that'll get better. That's the other thing about working together, in all the time, and you get a feel, you get a flow, the communication's better. You know what I mean? The guys in the back communicate to the linebacker. So if Jamin Davis is playing 40% of the snaps, well, he's not hearing that. He's not getting that. Yeah. But if he's getting 98% of the snaps, then he starts to generate a feel of what goes on. He gets a sense of who's behind him, who's on the side of him. And it's just, in your brain where your boys are. You're not thinking about it. You know where you're supposed to be. So in time, I think it'll be an improvement. I think, everyone just did such a good job. I think really, once again, the offense, the miscues and the stuff like that, put them in a spot where they shouldn't have been sometimes. They might not have had to defend Aaron Rodgers as many times if the offense had kind of done a better job.
Yeah. The defense definitely gave us a chance to win. I really like what the secondary was doing. Danny Johnson, I kept calling him Daryl Johnson or something, but Danny, I knew who he was. So I remember him from
Danny's just happy to be playing. So
Dude,
Danny
he
or
did such a
Daryl,
great job.
He did, man. He did a great, and
Great
I think
tackling.
Yeah, and was he let go? Did he not make the practice squad and then we just put him on recently? Or has he been on the practice squad the whole time? I can't remember. I'm just not sure.
They may have picked him back up again in a shuffle.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was on there because when he was buying for the team, he was also going to be a returner, just like
Yes.
Carter. But since his other job was a defensive back, that room was full.
Yep.
So, and the wide receiver room was full too, basically, when we kept DeAndre Carter. So it's probably better that we kept DeAndre Carter and not him.
Right.
But he was right there. I believe that he could do it. I think we were watching him going, yeah, he can do it. And there was Dax Milne, I think, was in on that too. So we kept Dax as well. So thankfully.
Yeah.
So,
but to your point, though, Danny did great.
He did.
He didn't look lost at all.
No, good tackling, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. I was loving it. I was glad to see him back there. I was glad to see all that gelling and working. I was glad to see Landon Collins, buying into what's going on. You have to. And what's going to happen now is they're going to see how much this improved. That they should just be so relieved from this game. They don't care that they lost. They care that they came together as a team and did way, way, way better without all that frustration, without all those things. Like they can even say they didn't lose the game. They held theirs. They did their part. Now the offense didn't kind of build on top of that as much as they could have. So the defense, I believe, played the winning game.
Yeah, I really do. And like talking about Landon, I said he only played 58% of the snaps, yet he had more tackles than anyone.
7.
I mean, the solos, I mean, 7 solo tackles. Of course, Cam Curl was 6, Holcomb was 6, Jamin Davis with 5, Danny Johnson with 4, like you said. McCain and Fuller 3 each, St. Just with 3. But those top guys, but that just goes to show you Landon Collins, even playing only about half the snaps, had the most tackles. So he's making an impact, man.
Yep.
He's definitely making an impact. I think he had a tackle for loss. I think that was that backside play where he came around. Allen had 2 tackles for loss. Montez Sweat had 1. Now Montez had a sack, and Jonathan Allen had 2. Jonathan Allen, what a beast, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a Pro Bowl looking for him, man. 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. And Montez, Chase Young really kind of got shut out. He didn't do much, but there was a point where he went to the bench and was grimacing. I haven't seen any injury talk, but
he got poked in the eyes. What I think happened when I saw that guy got a hands up to the face.
Yeah,
it moved his helmet like this, and when he came up, he was like shaking his head. And then when he seen him, they showed him on the sideline. His one eye was closed, and there was tears coming out of it. So I just figured he wasn't crying.
He kind of wasn't this.
Eye. So
good pick
he was
up
mad
then,
about that. So, but he
wasn't
get
quite
a pass defense.
No, he didn't do much. He didn't get a tackle for loss. There wasn't much pressure. He had a couple tackles, but who knows what? Not
he did block a pass though.
Yeah, and he got that's right. He did.
He got his hand out and blocked one.
He gets chipped a lot and
he gets
beat up a lot. So,
yeah, they were chipped. They were working on him, and he was up against their regular good guy. At the other side of their ball, the left-hand side of the ball was the side of the ball that had their backup guys for Green Bay. So he had their main guy there. Yeah, he just kept that wall. I mean, even if you're not getting in there, if you're holding the wall up and then other guys can get on the other side, to me, you still get part of that sack. You were holding up this end, and he couldn't go nowhere, so those guys can get him. That's legit by me. So
and they'll drop him in coverage. They'll do that, which is a great way to get a sack. He kind of drops back and someone blitzes. So overall the D did good. Boy, I think if they can kind of keep this up, this will be the defense we were talking about.
Yeah,
that we wanted. Well, now it's time to talk a little special teams.
Mm-hmm.
I guess overall. Nothing flashy.
Nope.
You know, I would say though, I mean, we do have a new kicker.
Yep.
Our buddy blew it.
Yeah.
He came on
literally
his
at least once.
I think his first legitimate NFL kick got blocked.
Got blocked.
That was on him. Everything seems to indicate it was a little low, a little bit of nerves. But how about that second one? What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought the second one was good. Definitely got the height on it over the head. So
yeah.
I don't know if it was a farther distance. Sometimes with the closer ones, they blast them. I don't know. Or the farther ones, they got to kick it maybe a little more line drive. I don't know. So I thought he looked tight. I didn't have a problem with them. As long as they're, when someone gets a hand on it, if it's a little low, I don't really blame the kicker. I blame the kicker when it's left or right. If it gets blocked, that's an extra effort on the defense's part, maybe a little low. I don't really hold too much to that. So.
I agree. And the guy the guy for Green Bay did wedge in there pretty good, kind of went sideways, got in and got his hand up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like you said, left or right, or dead short, we know the kicker is responsible.
So he blasted it.
Yeah. And he got he had one extra point.
Yep. He did good. I like that.
So let's see what happens. We really did have to take care of the Dustin Hopkins situation.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but on a little side note, Chargers release Vizcaino, their kicker, and pick up Dustin Hopkins.
Good.
Yeah.
Sometimes people do good with other teams. I'm a firm believer in that. If you're not doing good here, maybe somewhere else you can go and do as good. Maybe the snap process was too much for Hopkins. Maybe they got a different snap process there and he can handle that better or something. So
yeah, maybe just like I say, the new change of scenery. So good for him.
Yeah.
Hope things work out for him, but I'm glad hopefully Blewett can just really start working, getting better, consistent. Maybe we've got a star kicker on our hands. We don't know. That's how it always is with kickers. Yeah, you never know a guy, with these
I'm
kickers.
Not changing again. So this is
good.
All right. So our punter is good.
Oh yeah.
He did great.
Very happy. Very happy with Tress.
I guess that would be returners left on special teams. Would be DeAndre Carter, and he did good. So he did really good. He returns them at least as far as you would get it on the 25 or approximating. So I'd rather have him try and run it back from 1 or 2 in the end zone and try and break it free, and then only make it to the 18 or the 21. That's fine with me as long as he can break 1 and 10 open. Well, that's good enough. So I think he can do it. He already broke one off earlier this year. So
exactly, he's the kind of guy you gotta give a chance to break one. So I'm with you on that. Yeah, he always does good. He gets out there, and he always takes care of the ball.
He does. He did drop it in the game last week, but I attribute that he's another person that's getting too much work. That's not his job to do what he's doing out there as a receiver. I would just rather see him just return kicks. So if we can get more receivers in there, people healthy, he can go back to concentrating on his job and not have to worry about. I'm sure he loves being a receiver. I'm sure he loves, he'd play every snap on offense and defense if you let a guy like that play. So I was going to say that about Cole Holcomb too. We play on offense too, damn it.
Yeah.
So, but I think DeAndre's good. So special teams looks good. Gunners were down there. We put a hurting on them. A couple times we held them to where they were supposed to be. Tress put them down there pretty good. So I think Tress didn't even punt that much, did he?
Not really. So no, I have to look that up.
Turnover on downs and fumbles and interceptions will limit what a punter plays. So
yeah.
All right. So then there's some coaching stuff we want to talk about. I do at least a little bit. So
yeah, man, hit it. What do you got?
Well, it was towards the second end of the first half, towards the end of the second quarter, and we were it was like 4th and 3, and we were on the 26 or 27 yard line, and they decided to go for it. And when it's you kick the field goal, early in the game, I don't give a fuck what analytics say. I don't care. You don't go for it on 4th and 3. You're already struggling. You don't do that. You put your boy Blewett out there and you let him kick it. That's a poor coaching decision. Take the 3 points. Oh, you're going to win games playing 3 points. Well, it's close. You're not going to win games kicking field goals if it's 21-6. Yeah, the field goal is only going to make it 9. I get that. But when it's 7-7, the field goal puts you in the lead and gives you confidence, is what we talked about. It gives you confidence. We scored 3. Now what do? Now you didn't make the 3 yards, and now you had a turnover on 4th down. What does that do to your team? You know what I mean? You could have had 3 and good morale. Instead, you turn the ball over and you have shit morale. And to me, that's where it flipped over. Sorry for getting excited here, but
I agree.
That at all.
Analytics can't measure, like you said, those positive feelings and bad feelings. And after you kick that field goal, you kick off and it probably goes to the end zone. They get it on the 25 and, they don't get good field position. So it sort of creates and I can see it sometimes, but early in a game like that on the road, it did seem kind of weird. And, I don't know. I don't think it blew its confidence, but still, if you're the kicker, you know how the kicker is. They're out there. Kicker's like, I can kick that, and they're going for it. You don't want to take it personally, but you're like going, hey man, I can kick that thing. I can do that. Yeah. So that was a little weird. Let's see how they do that. And 4th and 3, you know how it is. They want to make a confidence booster. They kind of want to jack things up, but we've talked about it over and over and over again. Our offense is at a disadvantage right now. Magic things, magic dust, fairy
full
dust.
Team, Logan Thomas on the side there.
That. Yeah, it's not going to do it. You're not just keep going with the process. This offense has a lot of things going against them. They're still doing good, but they don't need stuff like that. So let's see how they approach it in the Denver game. Be interesting.
Well, with Denver, you can beat them with field goals. So
that's true. And hey, and a mile up too, right?
Yeah, there you go. The ball sails way up. The ball
sails. Yeah. Blewett's going to be happy to be kicking in Denver. So, I think overall, I guess we haven't been harsh with Jack Del Rio, but we haven't been totally happy.
Right.
Yeah, we haven't been totally happy with what's going on there, and a lot of it too. I think we were talking with Grossi last week. We were fortunate to be on his show, and Grossi even said, hey, sometimes those coaches have coach speak and it's frustrating as a fan, but that's just how some of their personalities, that's just what they do. But let's give him some props, move some guys around. He's done some things different, and that defense did look good. Well, and so guys are, maybe guys are finally coming around.
I think to me, I don't know if even that was Del Rio movement. I would say that's more like Coach Ron leaning on Del Rio. It seemed to me that Ron was behind the Landon Collins thing.
It makes you wonder. Unless Del Rio went to him, because look, he's just and said, hey, I'm getting some resistance over here.
That's fair. Maybe
maybe you can talk to the guy.
Okay.
Because you're the head coach. Who knows? But either way, though. We got to give props to them for making some moves. They lost their number one corner. William Jackson was out. Danny Johnson came in, and that's always good when a guy can come in and play strong. Hey, you got to give it up for coaching. Yeah, that guy was coached and ready. He knew he knew his assignments. He knew what he had to do. So
coaching did switch it up. We saw a lot more pressure this last game. Way more pressure than we were seeing before. So they're doing something. They're changing it up. So I got to give it up to the coaches. Maybe some of them secondary kind of coaches could step up on, clock management looking stuff, helping Coach Ron make decisions with scouting people. That's what those people are supposed to do. These quality control coaches and these people are supposed to be scouting the team constantly, giving your coach information, helping the people in the box make decisions, and that would lead to that decision in the fourth quarter when Heineke tried to go over the top on that 4th down. And so I didn't even really understand the rule, but you can't forward your own fumble regardless of where it is. So, and for them not to know that and understand that, I know I don't understand, but Ron should have known that the ball bobbled and he picked it back up and is dead right where that is.
Yeah.
So them not know understanding that goes against them too. And so I thought some clock management going with the coaching thing. I know it was fourth quarter and we're collecting garbage time, but they threw one to the right to Ricky Seals Jones and he just tried to plow up field. Didn't anybody tell him to get out of bounds?
Yeah.
He had a clear shot at the out of bounds, yet he struggled with these guys for an extra yard or two, and yet like 18 to 20 seconds came off the clock. You're like, whoa, somebody's got to be coaching these guys on this stuff. You step out of bounds, dude, big time, so they blew it right there. So
he was pretty
there's
much
coaching things that need to happen.
Yeah, he was corralled right there. He should have known. And I imagine that's something that will be talked about when they do the film. It's those little things, and they're not going to beat him up over it, but they're going to go, hey, look, what if this is a game where it's 24-24 and you do that and we have no timeouts? And now we're really hurting.
Yeah.
We're not just, this isn't just garbage time. So, and it doesn't matter. Like you said, it's the process. I don't care if it's 44-10 or 24-24, you do the right things all the time because that will help you when you really need it. Yeah. So I was, I could be a little, as far as coach, Coach Turner, sometimes I was thinking about his red zone, the Heineke quarterback sneak I didn't love, but in retrospect, I was thinking that, shake up some of the red zone plays a little bit. I mean, I know that they, and maybe it's Heineke. He does like to throw to Ricky Seals, and it's not a bad way to go. Big body, tight end, get it in there. But on the other side, Coach Turner called that play where Heineke rolled out. He was free for a touchdown. He went to one knee. That wasn't Coach's fault.
No, that's not Coach's fault.
And then Coach called that little quick shot to McLaurin in the end zone.
Yeah.
And Terry bricked it.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's it's so we can't be too hard on Coach for that. But I just anything they can do to improve red zone, because that was a big stat. When we look at all the stats down the line, we're saying how close things were. We had, both had 4 penalties. We had 3 sacks. They had 4 sacks. We had better yardage. We had better time of possession.
Yeah.
I mean, we did a lot of things were even, but when I went down, the one thing that wasn't red zone.
Probably third downs too.
Oh yeah. Third downs weren't good, but red zone, we were 0 for 4.
Yeah.
Packers were 2 for 4. 0 for 4 is just, that's a killer.
Yep,
so and there was execution problems. It wasn't just scheme. It wasn't just coach. But let's hopefully they work a little bit more on that. Yes. Maybe try some new stuff. Let's see what is and isn't working, and let's do better in the red zone. I mean, they really do. So overall, I got to give the coaches a B, because things are improving. They're doing. I think they're doing some good things. It seems like the team's starting to gel, and then. So anyway, I got to give them a thumbs up.
All right.
So speaking of gelling, man, we have got a game.
Yeah.
Against those Denver Broncos, at a Mile High.
Yeah.
And
got to help our kicker.
Oh yeah, our boy blew it.
Yeah.
He's excited. Well,
it's an afternoon game too.
Oh, good, excellent. So that'll be and then after that is the bye week. I think, right? Yeah. So this is it's kind of a pivotal game.
It is.
I'll tell you, I've noticed a few things about bye weeks. I think bye weeks sometimes are like when you're playing a team that's out of your division, they're just an okay team, and next week you're playing your division rival. You know how sometimes you sleep and you get caught and you lose. Because you just, these guys are okay, but you're thinking about that, and then you don't come in with the right frame of mind, and you get beat. We see it happen all the time. Well, I think that happens with these bye weeks. I've seen teams fall asleep because they really do look forward to it, and can't blame them. Especially, man, we talked about these injuries this year. It's a little off the hook. I mean, look at us. Talk about being beat up and everything. And I know the players, they need a break.
Teams too.
They deserve a break. I mean, they get to go see their families, get out, get away. I mean, they give them like 4 or 5 days away. Just get away, go have some fun and rehab a bit and stuff. So, but I think I saw the Chargers, a really good football team, put together some good wins. We saw them in week 1. And then they hosted the Ravens, which is a pretty good team. They got curb stomped.
Yep.
I forget the scores. It was just a beatdown.
It was.
And that was a team did not have their heads screwed on right. And then ironically, next week is and then the Ravens, right? Same thing a week later. The Ravens, who looked all world, beat the Chargers. I mean, a good football team. They just whooped them. Now their bye week's coming up, so they're at home against Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And Cincinnati just bushwhacks them.
Yep.
Once again. Come on. The Baltimore team's a good team, and it's a good coach team. And they just got whooped, and I think was because they were kind of looking forward to that break too soon. Other teams approach it better. I've seen teams who go in, you can tell they're going into their bye week ready to kill people. They're ready. They're going, we're going to take care of business. We're going to crush these guys. Then we go to our bye.
That's what I'm hoping our guys are doing.
That's what we need.
To be the right attitude to go in. They have to. There's not you can't be slugged. They probably want to. They feel they can make this opportunity happen against Denver. Nothing against Denver. Anybody can win on any given day, of course. But I'm sure these guys look at it as like, look, if we're going to salvage anything out of this fucking season, we got to come out of here with a win. And then we got to come back in 2 weeks with all our guys put together for that last run of 9. And so that should be the attitude going into this game coming up on Sunday. So,
yeah, it really should.
That's my attitude anyway.
Yeah, I know, man. The fans are pissed off and ready for a win, man.
It's all good.
And we'd like to go into us as fans. We'd like to go into a break with a win, with all this hopefulness and what we talk about, guys coming back, re-energizing the team. So Denver is having their struggles.
Yeah, they are.
It's been tough for them. They kind of started off 3-0, but when you looked at that 3-0, it turns out the 3 teams they beat were 0-9 combined. Mm-hmm. So they were kind of beaten up, and now it's 4 straight losses. This is a team that's got some good players. They do have some solid players, but just all the way around, they haven't been able to get it together. Our defensive line is going to, I think, really do some dominating here. If they really can bring it like they did with Green Bay, and we held them to 57 yards, they've got 2 decent backs in Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams, the rookie. I think if they can control those Green Bay runners, they can control these guys. And if they can do that, and you put the onus on their quarterback.
Who's that now? Are they Bridgewater or Locke?
Still Bridgewater. Still Bridgewater.
Okay.
And he's not very dynamic, and he's doesn't have the greatest arm. He throws some good throws and stuff like that, but he's not a guy that's going to just totally scare you. Although he does have some good receivers. I think Jerry Jeudy might be back. He's a good young guy that they have. He may be back this week. That's touch and go, but they've got good players. They got a good tight end in Noah Fant.
Yeah.
But he's not a guy. If they can control that running game and force him to throw, this isn't Aaron Rodgers. This isn't Josh Allen. This is where they can really take over. You can take over this game. You can sack them, push them back, and really start to control the game on defense and give our offense a chance, opportunities to score. So, I'm looking forward to it, and their D hasn't really been, even though they have their coach, Vic Fangio is really has been a great defensive coordinator, really does a great job with it. But so far the defense just hasn't come through. I don't know if it's the scheming or the players. They're not scary at all. So they got some decent DBs. I'll give them that. But overall, it's not a scary defense. So hopefully, man, they should really be able to put a win, I would hope, on these guys. I really do.
Yeah, me too. So do we expect Logan Thomas back this coming week or no?
No.
We're not even going to bother, right?
I think
save him for the week 10.
I would imagine and we'll see, like you say, we'll see later on, especially Friday, but I could almost predict Cosme, Brandon Scherf, Logan Thomas, obviously Curtis Samuel and Cam Sims. We won't see any of them. I think they're just going to, those guys, and really those guys should start to, that'll be 3 more weeks. Those guys could all be practicing and looking to come back.
Okay.
Which would be awesome. But I don't think we're going to see any of those guys. Let's kind of see how things transpire. I don't think it's a problem. If the guys we had against Green Bay all, all those players come. That O-line, like I said, I gave him about a C for that game. If they can up it a little bit, Taylor Heineke kind of get his head on, just sharpen up a little bit. I think we can beat them with this offense.
I think
don't
so
think
too.
It's a problem. Yeah.
I hope so.
So
yeah.
Well, I guess that's almost a prediction right there, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to go to prediction. I think we blew it for last week, but no, you got it right. You picked Green Bay. That was the right pick.
I knew it would be tough.
Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's Green Bay. Everybody's laying down to them. So, but the boys put up a great fight. I really think they put up a great fight. Just those shitty things that happen are just hard to shake. I've already shaken them. They were bothering me for a second, but I'm done with it.
Yep.
Screw it. We're moving forward. So we're moving up against Denver. Of course, I'm going to take the win here. So we're up against them. There, Brandon Perna, who does That's Good Sports. He's been our total hookup. So that's his team. We wish him good luck. We wish his team good luck. And we appreciate him helping us out so much. We get more subs from him than we do grinding it out on our own. Same with Tom Grassi. We get more exposure on them guys' channels than we do on our own. So thank you guys very much, and good luck to y'all. So
yeah, that was great. That was great having Grassi having us on and doing the show with him. That sure was a lot of fun. So yeah, good luck for those guys. But the Packers don't need luck though, man. They look like a pretty darn good team. So well, I'm thinking that's it. We got our predictions down. Oh, you know what we need to talk about is the live stream on Sunday. What time's that game going to be?
That game is going to be it's going to be my time. It's going to be 1:25. Is that right?
Yep. That's going to be 3:25 my time, at 4:25 Eastern. So it's the afternoon game, right?
Right. For me, it's going to be my first afternoon game, 1:25. So I'm going to be coming on at 10 after 1, 15 minutes early to give some lowdown on injury updates, roster moves, all that kind of stuff, any last minute news that we might have. And then we'll just jump right into the game. I don't get to watch it this time, so I'll be following on Yahoo. So I look forward to that.
Yep, and I'll be in the chat room, and like I said, even before, I'll be in the chat with some announcements, some inactives, all that. Any surprise injuries from both sides of the ball, and and a little. Hopefully, we don't get. I don't think the weather's going to really get us. There's not much being predicted right now. We'll see how things go, but early weather looks like it's going to be fine.
And I'm going to be dressing up, so I'm not sure what I was going to be yet. So.
Oh, that's right.
A surprise for y'all. So we'll see what I come up with. All right. So what else do we got? We made our predictions. Should we do an AI prediction? Let's see what. Of
course. Let's see.
Right.
Yep.
Let's see. Did he pick Green Bay last week?
I think he did.
He did, right?
Yeah, you were the odd man out. Me and AI. Yeah, me and AI went with Green Bay, but this week. Let's see if we can get all three of us on the same page.
Okay. Pissed off turtles, pissed off. Look, pissed off turtles, Green Bay color.
Uh-oh.
Why? Okay. So
all right, man.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna let it hit the floor this time. I think that's better luck than letting it land over here. So but you're gonna make the call.
All right, let's go heads for the Washington football team and tails for the Broncos.
Tails for the Broncos. Oh my gosh. It is tails for the Broncos.
AI never fails.
Never fails. So yeah, maybe somehow the universe knows something we don't. So okay. Well, very good. It was a good show. Thank you so much, BH. Looking forward to Sunday.
Yep.
Do we need to cover anything else?
I think we're done, man. We did a good job. That's just about it. Let's just hope we can have a great show next week talking about the incredible win over the Broncos and getting ready for that nice break. I think we're going to do a show, right?
We
I
are.
think we'll do a midterm show, kind of going back over the season and getting ready for the second half. So that'll be
Somewhere
fun.
in there in the bye week. Keep an eye out for it, guys.
Yeah.
So, all right. Look
All
forward
right,
to
man.
seeing y'all at the Sunday show.
Let's do it. I'll be there.
All right, dog. Later.
All right, roll it.